Welcome, everyone. I think you're really going to enjoy this today because what I'm about to share has the power to completely change how you look at your life, your results, and your future, and most importantly, yourself. Now, this is not something you hear once and master overnight. This is actually something you study, you reflect on, apply, and grow into because once you truly understand it, you begin to realize that many of the limits you thought were real never were. You can create more success, more money, better health, stronger relationships, more peace, and more purpose. But first, you must understand what's really been controlling your results. A few years ago now, thanks to the great late Mr. Bob Proctor, I came across a powerful quote from Neville Goddard. He said, "You are only limited by weakness of attention and poverty of imagination." Think about that for a moment. Most people don't fail because life is against them. They fail because their focus is weak, scattered, and inconsistent, and because they imagine worst case scenarios far more often than they imagine a beautiful future. They rehearse problems instead of possibilities. They visualize loss instead of growth. They think about what they fear more than what they desire. And then they wonder why life feels heavy. Years ago, President Kennedy asked the great rocket scientist Wernher von Braun what it would take to put a man on the moon and bring him back safely. His answer was really simple. He said, "The will to do it." The will to do it. Now think about that. The will is a mental faculty, and so is perception, reason, memory, imagination, and intuition. These are higher powers we've all been given, yet most people never develop them. They've been trained to use their phone, but not their mind. They know how to scroll, but not how to focus. And if you cannot focus, you tend to drift. I've met people all over the world who work hard, mean really well, have great hearts, but they drift. No clear target, no real vision, no emotional connection to where they want to go. They're reacting to life. They're paying bills, managing stress, hoping something changes. But hope without direction becomes frustration. You must decide, what do you actually want? Not vaguely, not more money someday. It's got to be how much, doing what, living where, with whom. For instance, what does a Tuesday afternoon in your dream life look like? What kind of relationships surround you? What does your body feel like? What does peace feel like? What does freedom feel like? You have to get really specific here because the mind works best with clarity. Many people on here talk about the law of attraction, but few understand the law behind it. That law is vibration. You see, everything vibrates. Everything carries energy. Your thoughts carry energy. Your emotions carry energy. Your habits, your identity, your expectations carry energy. You see, you're not attracting from what you say you want. You're attracting from what you consistently are. That's why someone can say, "I want wealth," but feel full of scarcity. They may say, "I want love," but expect rejection almost every time. They may say, "I want success," but secretly identify as someone who struggles. That was one of my problems way back, but not anymore. You see, words don't override identity, and energy follows conditioning. So where does it all begin? Well, I believe everything starts in the mind. A thought activates chemistry, and chemistry creates the feeling, and the feeling drives the action, and action produces the results. Then results reinforce identity, and around it goes. That cycle can either build a prison or create freedom. And in my experience, most people live by default. They repeat yesterday's thinking, yesterday's emotional reactions, yesterday's habits. And then they wonder why today looks really familiar. I know this personally. I remember my own turning point because there was a time in my life when things looked really uncertain. You see, I'd come from Liverpool, England, which I loved. I played music professionally for most of my adult life at that time, and I lived the feast or famine cycle. Then later, I moved into business in America. And while externally things changed, internally I had to learn something a lot deeper. Because success on the outside, without mastery on the inside, can still feel really unstable. What changed everything for me was realizing that your life moves when your self image moves. What I've learned is when you see yourself differently, you act differently. And when you act differently, opportunities respond differently. And when opportunities respond differently, results begin to really change. Now let's look at visualization for a moment. This is where many people get it wrong. I know I certainly did for a good while. They visualize a mansion, a check, a dream partner, but they never become the person who naturally aligns with those outcomes. You see, you can't live from panic and attract peace. And in the same vein, you can't live from lack and attract abundance. Just as you cannot live from confusion and attract clarity. Visualization is extremely powerful, but only when paired with emotional alignment and identity change. So, how can you use this starting today? Here's what I recommend. Number one, decide what you truly want, not what others want for you. What do you really want? Number two, write it down clearly and be specific, measurable, and emotional about it. Number three, rehearse it daily. So what do I mean by that? Well, see it in your mind. Feel it as real. Number four, become congruent and ask daily, what would the version of me who already lives this life do today? Number five, protect your attention. Believe your attention is currency. So stop spending it on fear, gossip, noise, and nonsense. You just have to watch the nightly news and it's all there. So I suggest just don't watch it. Now let me tell you what, in my experience, blocks most people. It isn't lack of talent. It isn't lack of opportunity. It certainly isn't age. And for sure, it isn't background. It's conditioning. The subconscious program, the paradigm, that invisible mental script built through repetition. What you heard, what you saw, what you were told, what you emotionally experienced as you grew up. And unless that script is rewritten, it keeps running the show. That's why intelligent people sabotage themselves all the time. Capable people procrastinate. Good people stay broke. Talented people stay hidden. Because the paradigm wins until awareness steps in. I truly believe that you are more than you've been told. And I truly believe most people have never been introduced to who they really are. I believe you're not just a body paying bills. You're not just your past mistakes. And you're certainly not just your circumstances. There is intelligence within you, potential within you, power within you. And a deeper part of you is always trying to express itself through growth. That's why you still want more expansion, more expression, more contribution. And that desire it's not greed, it's growth calling you forward. So here's my challenge to you today. Stop fooling around with your life, because life is precious. Decide what kind of life you want, then say no to everything that doesn't support it. Feed your vision, guard your focus, raise your standards, study your mind, and begin becoming the person your future requires. Because once your inner world changes, your outer world must follow. If this message at all spoke to you today, I want you to subscribe to the channel. I share practical teachings on mindset, wealth consciousness, the law of attraction, and how to truly rewire your results from the inside out. And if you're ready to go even deeper, check out my program Magnetic Manifestation, either in the link below or on my website, johnwilliamsglobal.com, where I show you step by step how to shift identity, vibration, habits, and results. Remember, your next life begins with your next decision. This is John Williams reminding you that your vision, your beliefs, and your emotions are shaping your future right now. Choose wisely, live abundantly, keep dreaming big, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.